Happy Hour from the Tower. Live right now. We are recording live, and the fire team is about to get started on the official recording. And the official recording being that we go on ahead, we take the music out, and and then I extrapolate the audio from here. But this is all part of the raw feed, and as you can see, all three of at least I don't see Brandon. I don't see enough decorations in your room for Destiny.
I've got a shelf. All my Destiny stuff is like on this wall because it's the
wall we can't see.
Yeah, because it's all the way.
That's balling. Okay. Because I mean, I got my disc plate, and then I've got my my birthday gift to myself. But Nick is making all of us look bad. I mean, you can't beat that angle, Nick. You cannot beat that angle.
I had to get those. Plus, bonus that's Saint 14 over here that like not everybody can see. So
right. I mean, I was trying to be as strategic as possible. The only downside is that the banner that I got, which I will say, this banner was probably the fastest thing I ever ordered from Bungie. I ordered it, and like 2 weeks later, it showed up. And for Bungie, that's quick.
Yeah.
But this is where my my seals and future seals will be going right now, and it was a choice. It was either show off that or show off the running medals. And I said, I'm sweating it for 2.5 hours in a half marathon. I want people to see the damn medals. I think it's only fair. So good to see you guys. How is everybody? How you guys doing?
I think there are times when we have hit the pandemic wall.
For sure.
Or want to hit the wall due to the pandemic?
Yeah, there's that too. Yeah. Yes, I made it a point yesterday to not be in this chair at all, like 0%.
All right.
And that meant like no work stuff, no PlayStation, no nothing. I sat and read, and then I played Xenoblade Chronicles. So
there we go. Which, if I remember correctly, that's on a Switch, so you can really play it anywhere, right?
Yeah, but the doctor had already gone to bed, so I played it on the big TV.
There you go. Perfect. What about you, Brandon? You doing all right? School-wise, pandemic-wise?
Yeah, it gets a little stressful at times, but for now we're good.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Hatchling Phoenix. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. How the heck are you? Yeah, we here at the at the Morris house, it's because of the crappy weather. We have been, I think the wall's been closing in a little harder. I'm still getting in my runs, which is great. It's great being able to get in the runs, but I think because we're Phoenix up there, by the way, he is one of the participants of the Smoky Riders retreat. Cool. Yeah, and I think because we're coming up on the 1 year anniversary of that was the last thing we did that involved other people. That was the last thing we did, and then literally when we got back, that was when everything was starting to shut down. It was eerie, to say the least. It was really eerie.
I was scheduled the week that we got shut down. I was 100% scheduled to go teach a class in Mexico City.
Oh my God! Wow.
And the boss goes, nope.
Wow, thanks, that's a hard nope.
Man. Yep.
I mean, the sad thing it was it was a good retreat. But I think the weirdest thing about it, and I'm sure Hugh that's Hugh in there. Hugh can attest. It just felt weird because that was the last thing we all did, where we were getting together, nobody was wearing masks, I mean, it's funny. Pip and I have been speculating about it, about how we're gonna all have to go through some type of weird adjustment phase after we get our vaccines. It's not going to be like we just stop wearing masks and everything's back to normal. It doesn't work that way. But I think about the before times. I mean, to give you an idea, one of the places that we were at, it was Wilmington, North Carolina. We did like we called it the after retreat. We went to Wilmington, North Carolina for a weekend, and that is apparently where Untapped has its headquarters. and they had tours. I could just basically ring the doorbell, and they could be like, "Oh, you want to go on a tour?" You're like, "Yeah, okay," and you just you just went on a tour, just walked through a workspace, an open desk workspace. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, I don't think that Google model is going to work anymore, guys. I don't think it is. And so that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy.
So while you were rating teaser
on
Saturday, I read an article about the work from home long-term effect on the economy, and it was specifically talking about the companies, like big tech companies, that have said you don't have to come back. You don't have to come back to the office, like, ever, period.
Right.
And the one they called out was Salesforce Tower in San Francisco. 61 floors of that are Salesforce.com, and they've been told you don't have to come back.
That's good. Look, I've been saying that. I've been saying that from day one. The hardest hit industry is going to be real estate, in particular. All those office buildings, where we live, we live in an area where it seems like every other day a brand new office space is being built, which I've never understood. It's a bit like, it's a bit like subdivisions,
not filled. But yeah, they said that leased office space in Manhattan revenue is down 47% year over year.
And you know what? I honestly thought it was going to be higher. I thought it would be up like in the 60 percentile.
So that's just that's not owned office space. That's just leases. That's just
that's leases. Okay.
The number of people who have not renewed their lease.
But I mean,
and we did it. I mean, my company closed 56 offices.
Well, I mean, the place that I'm interviewing for tomorrow, knock wood. The place I'm interviewing with tomorrow, they basically said, before we go any further, we just want to know, once the pandemic calms down, would you be adverse to coming into the office? And I said, if I felt safe, sure. And they said, it may be 5 times a week. And I said, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. Now, granted, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, well, then I'm going to probably have to start circulating my resume again. Because I find it hard to fathom that people will say, well, no, we're not going to be doing this once the pandemic calms down. It's like, look, we have been, for over a year, people have been, hell, Bungie, for example, they have been keeping this game going. And it's, okay, it's been rough around the edges on some instances. We'll be honest. But I mean, Bungie, Ubisoft, Epic Games, they have kept these games going through a pandemic. They've been finishing developing these games through a pandemic. With the exception of CG Project Red, which really they cannot blame the pandemic for the crash and burn of Cyberpunk. A lot of these games have come out, and they have proven. You look like you're about to disagree with me on this, Brandon. I want.
No, I was checking my TV.
Oh, okay.
I have no lights.
I mean, it just feels like we have proven that remote office space is a thing. That's the good side. That's the good Cyberpunk.
Come out of that release is that we went back and started doing this again.
Well, there is that. There is that.
Yeah.
Nerd Girl in chat said, my company is going to be reevaluating and most will stay work from home. Other people who want to go to the office and higher ups will be in the office eventually. They are drastically downsizing our offices from what I gather. And that was what, ironically, the people that really lead in this might shock you, chat, is the government. When I was working at Code, I said to my then project manager, I said, well, what are the chances of us coming back into the office on a regular basis? And he said, oh, that's not going to happen. And he explained to me that it was during the second Bush administration that they basically shut down billions of dollars worth of office space. They just shut it all down and let people work from home. And my then project manager said, yeah, if they wanted to bring everybody back into the office, all the people who are working remote for the government, they said it would get into the trillions. And that's something you're not going to see people spend on office space for the government. And it's like, well, that makes sense. But, it's going to be a different world. I do think we're going to come back to normal. I do think GCX, maybe not this year, but next year, most definitely. If GCX is still around again, knock wood. I mean, MagFest, all of these events that the three of us have gone to, AwesomeCon, they'll come back. I think, though, people are going to be smarter about it. I think we're going to see a lot more masks at public events, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. And plus, my mask fashion it's on point. I got me some beautiful masks from Twitch. They're styling, baby. They're styling. They're styling, man. And then Nick's got his Titan mask. Brandon, we need to get you a hunter mask. We need to get you a hunter
mask.
Oh, there you go. Okay, there you go. So there's.
And I have a spicy ramen one too.
Oh, good on you. Good on you. Good on you. So chat, just so you all know, you haven't missed anything. We're just warming up right now. We're getting ready to record the episode 70 of Happy Hour from the Tower. Yes, it has been a while, and we're going to address that going into the show. But we're just warming up a bit. We are doing this virtually, and because of DMCA takedowns, we cannot open the show with our usual Happy Hour from the Tower theme, because that apparently gets flagged by Twitch, and Twitch silences us. And for 2 shows, chat, you didn't know this, but for 2 shows, I had to literally cobble together an original opening for 3 different shows, and nobody noticed. So even these 2 didn't notice. So that's saying something. That's saying something. Real quick, chat, though, I want to throw a quick link into chat. This is of relevance to today's episode. Oops, that's Blind Gamer Steve. Blind Gamer Steve. Close enough.
That guy's always relevant.
Yeah, he's always
relevant.
Yeah, he's our patron saint. But anyway, here in chat we got that. That is a highlight reel. Now, granted, I call it a highlight reel, but I'll be the first one to tell you it is 20 some odd minutes long and some change. But it's because it was from a raid. We're going to get to that in the show as well. But at any time, if you got questions for us in chat, if you've got questions about Destiny, about Destiny developments, about the game, about getting started, about what Brandon and I do in the DSC, by all means, feel free to ask. All right, so let me go on ahead and let me shut down the music. Okay. All right. Let's get everything set up here the way I like it. I'm very particular that way, chat. Don't mind me. All right. Gentlemen, ready?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, here we go. All right. In 3, 2. Greetings, Warlocks, Hunters, Titans, and all the ships at sea. It's time once again for Happy Hour from the Tower. Remember us? And I am your host, T. Morris. And up to my upper left,
I'm Nick Kelly.
And to my upper right,
I'm Brandon Kelly.
The Fire Team is back, and we are here to talk about Season of the Chosen. It is episode 70 on your playbill. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. The topic will be Season of the Chosen, as well as a look at the Deepstone Crypt from the clan's perspective, because Brandon and I just did a run only 2 days ago, as of the time of this recording. We did a Clan Night Triumph run, which means everybody from the Fire Team had to be from current meta. We wound up actually completing 3 triumphs, and now Brandon and I are both in double digits for the Descendant title. Brandon, real quick before we get into the new season content, your thoughts? How was that run?
I think that was our best run yet. I won't lie, because it took our Atrax encounter went probably 4 runs, 4 tries or something.
Yeah.
It was super quick. Even the doing the Red Rover challenge was.
I was.
Just 3 tries, I think.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
For those of you who don't know the Red Rover Challenge, so okay, first off, the Deepstone Crypt, or DSC if you see it online, Deepstone Crypt is the brand new raid from Bungie for since the new content has dropped with Beyond Light. The Deepstone Crypt has an encounter. The Deepstone Crypt raid has 3 different weekly raid challenges. It's it's the Red Rover Challenge, then it's of all trades, and the last one is copies of copies. And they rotate.
I think there's 4.
Is there a fourth one? There might be a
Yeah,
fourth
because
one.
there's one per encounter.
Oh, yeah. The fourth one is the one
It's
strat.
the 4-core.
The 4-core challenge. And the 4-core
I
challenge.
just don't remember what it's called.
Yeah, but so yes, Brandon, thank you for correcting me. It was 4 challenges, and I was reading up on what the Red Rover Challenge is. The Red Rover Challenge is where when you get into the security the security chamber, there's an upper and a lower chamber. In the upper chamber, the scanner basically on the light and dark side basically find out which panels the operator, which works underneath in the lower chamber, they go on ahead and they take out the panels that the scanner says those are the panels you need to take out. And I suck at being an operator. I'm just going to come out and say it. The last time I was an operator, I got so turned around and I felt terrible because I felt like I was letting down the fire team because I'm like, I should know this better than that. But I've been operator before, but on different phases of the raid. I struggle with that. Brandon, what is your challenge in that particular encounter with it?
In that particular encounter, it's just the stress of making sure you hit the right ones, for me at least, because I know, like, which data pads are which data pads and stuff like that. It's just, it's a matter of the team has to be airtight in order to get it, because if you shoot the wrong one, it kills the operator no matter what.
And for me, it's just a matter of keeping my bearings. I don't know what it is, but it seems like I come around the corner, I'm like, okay, wait, which corner did I just come around? And it's not so much on the dark side as it is on the light side. But in this challenge for Red Rover, everybody has to be operator. Yeah. And in the link I'm about to drop into chat, you'll see that I put together a 20. It is 20 minutes, but it's in my opinion 20 solid minutes of
worth it for sure.
Worth it of going through that. And I led. I was the lead. The attitude was, well, we'll let the one who feels the most insecure about being the operator go first. That way, we don't wait until the last minute, and then fail in the last phase. Ironically, the guy who told us that advice was the guy who blew it the first go round.
Two times. Yeah.
So yeah, good times. But we managed to get the Red Rover Challenge done. And that was just a blast. And then we did a delightful. It took us, I believe, 2 phases to for the descent, and it was 2 phases.
I think it was just the one for Atrax, like the regular.
Well, we had an issue with Atrax, but that was because we had someone call, go right. We're all going right, and then wait, left, and I just saw my blade coming down like no. But I have to echo something in the video that I just dropped into chat. I have to echo it. As great as it is to stay on comms, and we all talked about that in episode 69, dudes. When we talked about having comms, airtight comms, you got to have comms. You got to be listening to your fire team lead. Chaos mode in the descent.
I think the descent is the best encounter.
I mean, every time it just got wackier and wackier. And I showed it to Pip, and she's like, what in God's name is happening? And I said, it's chaos mode, baby. So yeah, it was. So we wound up taking care of that Red Rover Challenge. We got the Clan Night Challenge done, and then just as a bonus round, I had somebody apparently switch classes halfway through. Or rather, before the descent was finished. So I had 3 out of 4 of the all void challenges done, but that one was just sticking out like a sore thumb. And so
the descent's trigger is really weird.
Yeah, but the thing was that we said, okay, well let's just do devoid, and we did the void challenge, and now Brandon's got that knocked off. I've got it finally completed. And I've already said I would love to run the solar challenge with Brandon as well because I've done that. I did that with Lulu and her legendaries. That's twitch.tv/ilulu. And And it's fun. When the clan was saying that it's fun running all solar, it's hella fun. It's hella fun. Although I'm anxious now to try stasis. I'm that's another one that I have to do is the stasis.
Stasis is still my favorite sub.
Yeah. And Brandon, why exactly are you and I making this mad push in the DSC?
Well, T, thank you for asking. There's in Destiny, there's a feature called Seals, and those give you little different kind.
Okay. We don't beat these seals.
They give you little purple titles that can go under your name for showing off what kind of triumphs that you've completed. And the one they introduced with the Deepstone Crypt is called Descendant. And we're trying to get all of those triumphs to be able to each throw that Descendant title under our names.
And this would be my first. I mean, this would be the Deepstone Crypt. I'm just going to come out and say it, everybody. The Deepstone Crypt is this is the first time I've gotten the raid jacket. This will be
the first time I've gotten a raid hand cannon.
There we go. Fantastic. Now you just got to get the raid shotgun, right? You got to get the raid shotty.
That and the helmet are the only things I'm missing.
Well, man, but you got the eyes of... That's weird. You haven't gotten the helmet, but you got the eyes of tomorrow.
On the second run.
Brilliant. But this will be the first time I've ever done the raid within the first week. First time I've ever done the raid, gotten the raid jacket, and this was also as soon as I complete it. Not if I complete it, when I complete it. This will be the first time I have a seal and a title to go with it because I'm stoked. I'm stoked because every time I run the Deepstone Crypt, it not only feels easier, and I'm going to put big quotes around easier, but it also just feels more fun. It does not get old. It does not get old. I rank it right up there with Prophecy. It's just so much freaking fun, especially when you're with a group of people that you know and a group of people that you're running with, even people that you've only seen like on Discord when it's working, right, Nick? When Discord's working, right? Mm-hmm. I was trying to pull him in here, Brandon. I was trying to pull him in here, so there you go.
That was painful to listen to.
Do you want to mention the names of the folks that you ran the raid with? Since you,
well, first off, I want to make sure that I did want to make a quick shout out. May feel like I'm slamming on the brakes, but bear with me, everybody. Did want to say that the fire team, we raise a glass and we wish all the best to Beardo. Beardo, I just saw right before we went live that he's lost his mom, and that's it's always tough when you lose a parent. Doesn't matter what age you're at. So Beardo, our hearts go out to you. We love you, and if you need us, you know where to find us. And chat, for those of you who are dealing with hardship or even mental health at any time, Guardians MH. You can look them up on Discord. You can look them up on Twitch. Guardians Mental Health. These guys have got great game, and they're good people, and they can point you in the right direction. We've had the one of the founders of Guardians MH on this very podcast, and in the show notes you will see where you can go to that show and find out more about what they do. So first off, we got to make a huge shout out to Dan Finity. Dan Finity, who led, who stepped in at the last minute to help us out with this raid. But let's see. If I remember correctly, there was me, Brandon, Jen, Dan Finity came in the end. We got Mr. Dunes and Beardo. And the aforementioned Beardo. This was the fire team that was made up entirely of folks from Current Meta. And you can go ahead and check out what they do. We at Current Meta, we do a lot of PvE stuff as well as PvP stuff. So if you're looking for Nightfalls, if you're looking for Pinnacle completions, if you're looking for runs in the raid, you can always find some helping hands at Current Meta. Thank you, Nick, for that segue. That was very slick, very smooth.
Yep,
very smooth.
Yeah, no worries.
So that brings us up to the Season of the Chosen. And our resident lore master here, Nick, has taken copious notes about this current season. What can you tell us about it, Nick?
So first and foremost, it's the Cabal again, whether we wanted it or not.
Yeah, we're going Cabals deep again, everybody. So
I'm cool with the storyline we got so far.
We have we have a new Empress Kydal.
Yes.
And she has tusks because female, my God, I just lost. Cabal have tusks. Yes, thank you. So they're the enemies again. It opens with a nice little back and forth, a tete-a-tete, if you will, between Kydal and Lance Reddick himself, Commander Zavala. And the Cabal are interested in us joining their war council and helping them defeat the Hive in the darkness. And the problem is that we would have to swear loyalty, and that's about the spot where you
Zavala would have to bow, and that's where the problem lies.
Yeah. I mean, all he had to do was bend the knee, and anytime anybody bends the knee, bad things happen. I mean, just ask
unless
Manny.
you're shoveling snow, then by all means.
Make sure you bend the knees. Oh, absolutely. And if your Christmas lights are still out, what the hell are you doing? You now have to get them out with an ice pick. But that's beside the point. That's old joke, past tense.
I did pass some people who still have their Christmas lights. Come on, man. Valentine's Day was yesterday. Know your holidays. It's not like you're not home. Anyways, okay.
Anyway,
don't trigger me.
I'm trying not to.
So we've got a metric ton of new stuff coming on the calendar. We've got a bunch of new activities that we'll talk about, and we're going to start with the very first thing that you get dropped into, which is, well, unless you cancel it and then wait for your teammates. But if you go into it by yourself and get a couple randos, like the Kelly clan over here has done, it's battlegrounds, and battlegrounds are essentially in the plot. It's you can stop any of the Cabal commanders who want to ascend to the War Council. Like, they either have to accept your challenge or run away, tail between their legs, and then they lose all glory because the Cabal are all about, they're a warrior race, and they're all about they're like kind of Klingons but heavier.
More hamster-like.
Yeah, they're like couch Klingons. They're couch Klingons. I mean,
they're Klingons with no portion control.
There you go. There we are. Very nice. Very nice.
That's a new one.
I like that. I like that a lot.
So there are two battlegrounds currently. Behemoth and Hailstone. One on Nessus, one on Europa. We have two more coming. The Cleansing and the Oracle. So one we get tomorrow.
Which is EDZ. No, Cosmodrome.
Yep, and then when we get the week after, right?
Yeah.
And I would say I'll let you guys describe the activity. My favorite thing about the battlegrounds is that this is it's almost like reuniting your clan, because there's so many characters that have been pulled in that haven't had anything to do in a long time. I mean, all of a sudden, you have some Osiris dialogue, you have some Crow dialogue, you have some Lord Saladin dialogue, you get Little Mandy Holiday, and it's a little bit of everybody, and that I think is better than when the season gets introduced with usually just two or three characters having anything to say, and Zavala's always one of them. So like, the fact that they've kind of branched out so far, and I think that they'll do even more once they get to some additional maps, hopefully. Otherwise it'll just be the ones I mentioned, but I like that a lot. But as far as the activity itself, there's a couple phases. You got to blow away a bunch of Cabal, get 3 keys. That takes you to the next step, which is a football thing where you have to explode your Hoth shields, whatever the hell they're really actually called. And then you get to the champion, and roughly 47 to 49 million ads before you defeat.
And Nick, and Nick, when you open the chest, where do you find the chest to use your hammer of proving?
Behind the actual chest, which
well done,
finally worked.
Well done.
Why it didn't work.
Well done, sir.
Were you queuing up on the map or through the strike menu?
That's I think what I did wrong. I think when we did it through the strike menu, it worked.
Yeah.
Well done.
It's
well
a
done,
different
Grasshopper.
version of the battlegrounds.
Well done, Grasshopper. Well done.
I still don't think I've leveled my hammer, but I have to go look. I don't know.
You have to do the weekly things.
Are you saying you pulled your hammer? Do you need to level up your hammer? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Taika Waititi for the win. Anyway, no, I have been really, really enjoying the battlegrounds, but I wanted to get Brandon's opinion. Does it feel like, and I guess that's more like it feels like, does it feel like there are more ads on the Europa Battlegrounds than it is in the Nessus Battlegrounds because it's more wide open? Because, man, I tell you, I started getting claustrophobia with the amount of ads that were just popping up left and right in the European Battlegrounds. It just feels a lot tougher.
I don't know. I mean, they're both tough for sure if you're not maintaining ads.
Yeah.
the character design, however, on those commanders is
it's ridiculous.
amazing.
Ridiculous.
So good.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But I will say this, I'm enjoying the Battlegrounds grind way more than I did the Wrathborn hunts. And it's not necessarily out of ease. It just I kept looking at the Wrathborn hunts the same way I looked at the Black Armory. It just, there was something about it that just felt tedious. And
I like the Wrathborn hunts. They're certainly an improvement over the season before.
God, I blanked out what the season before was.
The season before was the Rivals.
Well, no, which one was the Warmind Strikes? That was
Worthy.
Oh,
yeah. Maybe you did completely blank that out of your memory.
No, the one, yeah. The last two are kind of a blur. And now that you mention it, okay, Season of the Worthy, but the Season of the Worthy wasn't as bad as those damn Seraph Towers. I really did not care for those. That is
Season of the Worthy.
Okay, that is Season of the Worthy. Okay, that's what I thought. But I just was not a big. I just was not a big fan. Maybe it was the actual the loot drops. Now I say that, but I got a really good roll on the scout rifle, and I got to admit that scout rifle, I was like, okay, but that's one weapon. That's one weapon that I really enjoyed. The other ones were just kind of.
I liked most of the things from the Wrathborn stuff was really nice. I just they'd never give us hand cannons.
But we had
really annoying.
But we did get the Hawkman. We did get the Hawkman.
And there's so much of that season that story-wise appeals to Brandon because of who's involved.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I will say, I absolutely these past two seasons, regardless of how you feel about it. Yeah.
Speaking of ballsy character design.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This season.
The what they have done with Crow, I just think is just genius, and it seemed a very appropriate, almost ascension for his character. It's an incredible character arc when you look at it. To go from Uldren to the Crow 2.0, which
he was supposed to have been when he originally got cast.
I know, right? I know. And
what's up, Marv?
By the way, we are just going to go on ahead. Big Marvinsky, Gambit hand cannon, lit AF.
Yeah,
there you go.
I gotta get it.
And that's next on the to-do list, Marv. I'm going to tell you right now. And by the way, Sophie, Marv, Hunter, welcome to chat. We really do appreciate you being here. I really got to applaud Bungie for. I didn't think it'd be this worth it for the weight for Uldren Sov's character arc, but I love the direction they're taking Crow. Yeah. I think it's fantastic, and we're going to announce it right here. The outfit that Crow is wearing right now, that's going to be Brandon's next cosplay once we all start heading back in.
That's entirely a decision that was made by you, but I'll support it.
It's what I do, chat. It's what I do.
Yeah,
it's what I do. True String Bean, hi, how are you? Welcome to chat. So
along with that story and the battleground, then you get dropped into the Helm, right?
Agents of Helm.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I'm calling it.
Helm.
Agents of Helm.
And in there is the war table. That's a new thing, right?
It's a magical place.
I like the gritty. Thank you, Tahiti. The gritty holograms that you get of Zavala and then
that was really neat to see.
That was very cool. That's a nice touch.
And then on the awesome but sad thing, we get the recaster back, but the trash can does not talk, and so
and that's a shame. That's a shame.
Yeah,
my favorite is still hearing Drifter going, is this thing recording? I can't tell if it's on or not. Damn.
Do I press and hold the button?
Yeah. I had such massive flashbacks to teaching my father how to leave a message on the call answering machine. Jeez, I just was like, yep, we're back there again. So you got those additions, which are also very nice. And I'm really digging the grind for those particular bounties. Those particular bounties are really a lot of fun. I've been having a really good time with the content and with the direction that they're going with Season of the Chosen. I also want to applaud Bungie for all the tiny little details for quality of life that they've added into here.
Yeah. Next thing in my notes.
Lead us in then. Lead us. Follow us to glory. What?
So I would say we have a couple of different things to rank up. We have our season rank. We have the umbral engrams that are tiered in terms of advancement. The war table, the hammer of proving, right? Yep. And then we have our new our bell of conquests. Our artifact, right? So, and then there's also new stasis artifacts or aspects.
Aspects.
Yeah.
Yes, aspects.
Again, going back to Thor Ragnarok, we're going to have to get very intimate with our hammers. So,
But yeah, so in terms of like the quality of life, the GUI stuff, like little things like you change the color scheme on your sights, on your radar, both. What was it that you changed on your
no, that was something that I saw on another video. It was actually a video that Marv had pointed me to on improving my performance in the Crucible, and it was in the settings where they had colorblind settings, and depending on the condition of your color blindness, it would just change or enhance or dullen or absolutely change the colors, certain colors in your GUI. And I can't remember off the top of my head which one I chose, but I chose a mode of color blindness that made, instead of the warning areas red, it makes them yellow. And already I've noticed a difference. I'm like, okay, this is working for me. And so that's what I've been using for my radar, and it's a real godsend. They're also
on Protonopia.
Okay, that's probably it.
Because there's Protonopia, I think Deuteranopia, and then the one that my friend has.
Yeah.
That I Tritonopia.
It's and I know it's 3 settings, but the little details do make a big difference. It was a little I gotta admit, it was a little unsettling though when I had it on in the Deepstone Crypt, and I'm like, why are the terminals green? And I'm like, oh, because I've got the colorblind setting. It's like, okay. Yep. And then I got used to it. I'm like, yeah, I kind of dig this now, So
the scanner and operator were the same color for me.
So there were other little things like moving your updates for Valor, Glory, and Infamy to the bottom of the screen instead of the top, so you could still get to the menu while those were, giving you your little update. And then turning in tokens. Like, you don't have to go 5 at a time or 10 at a time or whatever. It was just 20 directly
just to the next rank. Yeah,
and then 100 to the gunsmith, and you were done. So it I don't know who finally got somebody's ear, but those little things like that are just like, and you don't have to do what now?
And I also did like the idea of, in the season, you now just not only have seasonal challenges as well as weekly challenges. And that again is something that can be accessed both under quests and in the season ranks, where you just go in and you can go, okay, here's your season rank. By the way, here are your challenges if you want to. There have been these nice little changes that have really made a difference, I think, and it's just it, and yeah, it's all in the details. So I'm really enjoying the new direction that we're all headed in with this. Well, now what about you, Brandon? How would you compare the Battlegrounds experience to, say, the Wrathborn hunts?
I don't know. I was a big fan of the Wrathborns. I just kind of liked how they were, like the mechanic of them just being overall, they felt really unique. But then after it did come down to like literally just keep doing them for this one triumph, it did get a little boring. I think they were really nice, and I think the Battlegrounds are the same concept, just opposite, if that makes sense. Where it's, instead of one big target you're hunting down, it's a bunch of small ones, because you're not only knocking out the Cabal commander, you're knocking out every one of those Cabal who's trying to prove themselves as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is so cool for the lore. I've been enjoying the battlegrounds. They're a little repetitive, but it's just because they're like mini strikes, and then I get every once in a while blueberries that don't know what they're doing.
That's always a joy. Oh, and that was the other thing. The other thing that came back, and it was our first Nightfall. The Devil's Lair made a return engagement in the strike menu. Now
I played that so much.
I know.
Next thing on my notes.
Oh my god! So we did a quick lightning poll, but unfortunately I don't think anybody saw it. But it was funny because I've had the finale music from the Devil's Lair stuck in my head all weekend, and then we ran the Deepstone Crypt, and then it comes in,
changed to Deepstone Lullaby.
Exactly, and I'm just like, okay, so really, where does my heart lie? Does my heart lie in the original D1 heavy metal Devil's Lair finale, or does it go to that incredibly gut-wrenching Deepstone Lullaby?
No, those are two sides of two different coins. Okay. Deepstone Crypt is Deepstone Lullaby is a masterpiece, but there's something so good about the grittiness of that Devil's Lair music.
It's like comparing Enter Sandman to Rhapsody in Blue. Let's put it that way. It's Metallica or Gershwin, and it's like, well, it depends. Where's my mood?
Yeah.
I mean,
you want to cry? Listen to Lullaby.
Right. You want to rock? You want to rock it out and get metal? Then okay. Then we go to the Lair. So yeah, Nick, you were about to talk about the Devil's Lair. What notes do you have about that? And then I'm going to get to your comment in a second, Marv.
Yeah, and then I guess we're probably up against a break after that, right? So, just that we had 2 out of the 3 returning strikes from D1, and I think one of them was broken, so it got yanked, right? The Fallen Saber.
Was it? I didn't see it on any menus because I did. Neither one of the Cosmodrome strikes were there when I looked.
Yeah, I believe it got borked. So it'll get patched.
It always does.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have specific notes on them. Just that those 2 are back, and then we get Proving Grounds in a month as another strike, so that we get 3 strikes. Baseball joke. Yeah, I haven't run Devil's Lair, I don't think, since it was reintroduced. So I defer to you 2 on that one.
Oh, it's really good.
It's still fun. It's still fun. Yeah, it's good time. It's definitely a good time.
The only bad part is the part with the Fallen Walker, where instead of just the Walker, now there's Briggs.
Yeah, man.
Which was hilarious.
I mean, I will say, I remember when it was when we would first meet the Walkers, and anytime I saw those guys in D1, I'd just be like, oh, here we go, let's brace, and we get through it. Now it's like, I see a Walker, no big deal, and I'm like, wait, the F? We got Briggs now too? Come on, Bungie! I mean, yeah, that was rough. That was a little rough to swallow. But it's and they'll get it fixed. They'll get it fixed, Jagmaster. They'll definitely get it fixed. One of the things Marv said was he hopes that the modifiers, which you can get at the word table, hope modifiers rotate, or that they'll add heroic battlegrounds for more loot. Otherwise, it'll get dull fast. But he enjoys it much better than Wrathborn. However, he could do Wrathborn in 2 minutes, and that was the thing. I mean, yeah, you can hammer out the Wrathborns pretty darn quick, but I'd rather have something with a little more meat on the bones. I don't mind going into like a mini strike. And that's what I felt like. I think I was hoping that the Wrathborn hunts, that's what they were going to be. They were going to be something.
I wish just Wrathborn had more unpredictability.
Yeah.
Because you're hunting down a target that is crazed.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there should be something that's going to be different.
It should catch you off guard. But
because at least some of the base D2 strikes had, like, the main enemies in the entire strike would rotate.
Yeah.
Depending on like a random chance, but the Wrathborns were the same thing every time, and it was
exactly.
Really...
And you basically chose which, like, if there was one, particular enemy that you knew, I can grind these suckers up, boom, 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 and then you're out. One thing I really like about the Battlegrounds, which I picked up on by accident, and I think it's a great way to do it. Nick was like, when I took Nick in to figure out the mystery about the hammer and the missing chests, we went in, and Nick's like, oh yeah, I got to do two more of those for my powerful gear. I'm like, oh okay, and then I pulled mine up and I'm like, oh wait a minute, mine says I've got 6 to do, and then I did the last one I needed, and then it said no, you got 9 to do, and I was like, oh, it goes from you do 3, you get a powerful gear 1, you get 6, powerful gear 2,
tier 1, tier 2, and then tier 3. And
I love that. I friggin' love that.
Change.
Nice change. Really, really well done, Bungie. All right.
So you're doing strikes more than just on Tuesdays now.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, everybody. On that note, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to talk a little bit more about personal plans in the season, what we're planning to get done, and more about the season of The Chosen right after this break. And we are clear. Okay. All right. That's the first half of the show right there. Nicely done, you guys. Nicely done. So anyway, all right. Do we have more copious sense that's going to take us into the second half?
Oh yeah.
Oh good.
Yeah. That's about halfway through the notes. So
good.
Perfect.
Man, that just felt like it flew by too. I was like, wow,
I know, but we don't want to do another hour and a half show and then you know what I mean, like
exactly.
The last couple like the last 6 months it feels like we've gone relatively long. I do want to bring up, we talked about. I'll wait till we start back up.
Okay.
To keep myself up.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't the only one that noticed that tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 approach.
It's super helpful.
Like, where's that been? Where's that been all our lives?
Yeah.
All right. Anybody need to use the facilities? Anyone in chat need to take a quick break? You all doing okay out there in chat? Because I'm good. Everybody. I'm good.
Good for you.
2 years since awesome.
Take a quick bio break.
All right.
No sweat. It's been 2 years since the last time we were at AwesomeCon. Is that what you're going to say?
There wasn't one last year. No, well, it came up in chat. So yeah, Macaro. So my buddy, one of my folks that I manage at work, called this morning and said, "Here's the deal. Like, I'm gonna have power for 20 minutes, and then it's gonna be off, and all 3 kids are home, and there's no heat in the basement, and I'm not gonna be able to get online. And it's like, just take the day, dude. Like, I'll cover for whatever you need." And it's just one of those. Yeah, they're not prepped for an inch of snow.
You're talking about Texas. Yeah, Texas is getting
They had
hard
a 133 car pileup last week.
Yeah.
In Fort Worth.
Yeah. Buddy of mine. Yeah, a buddy of mine in I think he's out in Wyoming. Last night he posted the current temperature outside, and he said it's not taking factor into wind chill. It was below 20. It was negative 20 with wind chill, and he's from and apparently the neighbors that he knew, he was just like they had no concept of what wind chill was about, and it's like no. Wind chill. Let's talk about this, okay? He had to quickly bring them up to speed. We've just been having miserable weather here in Virginia. They were calling for snow, and none of it came. Well, we got some of it, but then we got a lot of ice to go with it. And
once we got, like, last Thursday when it was just rain and it was so goddamn gray outside, and even Brandon was like, I'm like, yeah, man, I completely understand. Like, here you go. It's right here. We start every day. Little bottle of vitamin D to start the day off.
Yep.
And you're like, gotta.
We do
something.
I mean, I'm getting some natural vitamin D, but yeah, I'm popping the vitamin D, the vitamin C, the zinc, the fish oil, doing all that. But man, something about winter rain. I'm like, just freaking snow, because man, winter rain's the worst.
It sucks.
Get me out of school. I don't care what it takes.
Well, it's I'll tell you the biggest difference is like you can chill in the hot tub when it's snowing, but when it's winter rain, it's like
no, that ain't happening. Yeah, that ain't happening.
We're going back inside.
That ain't happening. So I can't remember if we talked about this last time we were on here. This is the casual break in between segments, chat. Just so you know. So Brandon, how are you feeling about? Because I just had this conversation with my daughter, with Sunny. How are you feeling about the whole approach to virtual learning? Because I know her grades are rock solid. And she's still working just as hard. And I know she said, and I told her, take the social aspect out of it, because I know you miss your friends. She misses her friends. It's great having Discord and social media and all that stuff, but it's not the same. I totally get that. But from a work aspect wise, what do you think? Because her response was, the upside was that everybody was doing the lessons all at the same time. It felt like everybody was moving forward at an equal pace. The downside was she feels like she's got more distractions to deal with.
I would agree. Yeah, it's way harder to keep motivation to learn, especially in a virtual classroom, because a lot of the times kids will just not pay attention. They'll just have the thing on so that they get an attendance grade.
Right.
I think it's definitely easier to make up work because you can just get it right into the teacher.
Yeah.
Even just doing work in the first place is way easier just because you have exactly the asset that they need and exactly what they want. I'm in a lot of like electives, so
right.
a lot of that is
always nice.
All that stuff out.
I will say this, and it's. If your ears were burning, Brandon, it was because Pip was talking about you and Sunny in the same breath. She was going, I cannot believe we're going to be talking about those kids going to college next year. And I'm like, look, I remember when I met you, bro, and it was like your voice was 2 octaves higher. You would be singing soprano, not bass, and it's like it. But the thing is that if we could find any upswing of what you and Sunny are going through right now as students, you guys are going to be way more ready for college than I was. Because, man, I tell you, because college is all about how do I get up in the morning and do the thing. That's half the challenge right there, and you guys have got that. It's
still super hard to do that.
Yeah.
Even like because I start my day off with. Usually, like some days it's choir, and then the other days it's astronomy. But the choir days are earlier, so exactly. I've had to skip class probably only 2 times at this point, and even like both times I've emailed my teacher and been like, I just need to sleep.
I'm just jealous that you're studying astronomy in high school. I would have shivved a bitch to learn astronomy in high school. I did that.
Well, if you had the teacher, you wouldn't.
Ouch. I have. I remember when I was doing electives, everyone just thought I was nuts because astronomy at James Madison was a level 400 physics course, and people were like, "You're doing that as an elective?" And I said, "Yeah," and they're like, "Yeah, astronomy, point to the moon, D+." If you're pointing where I think you're pointing, Marv, yeah, that would be a D+. But the thing was that I said, it's because this is what I wanted. I love this. I love this stuff. And I'll never forget, we were packed. We were in this packed theater, and the astronomy teacher comes out and he's smiling and he goes, "It does my heart so good to see so many young minds interested in the heavens and astronomy and the study of the stars. Half of you will be gone by the first week." And we were like, what? And he said, and the half that stay, half of you will leave after the first semester or something like that. After the first grading period. So
that makes sense. It's a complicated class.
Oh man, I mean, I remember when we were talking about the math of gravity, like the physics, and that was the thing. The hard oh man, I could barely pass algebra 2, and here I am going into like hardcore, mind-bending, expanse-like physics, and I'm like, okay, and I just said, God damn it, I'm going to get through this. And I'm so glad I pushed through, because the latter half of the course, we were speculating, what's a black hole? What's a pulsar? What's a quasar? And when you get to that part of astronomy, that's when you start going, yeah, this stuff rocks. I mean, it's just...
To root out the fakers is the first
step. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Root out the fakers. Once you get the posers out, then we go Carl Sagan on your ass. And it was it's just amazing. It was one of the best courses I took. Yeah, I love being a NASA nerd. Nerd Girl says, I'm with Brandon. I got astronomy in high school, but the teacher was not great. It sucks if you want to learn and you don't have a good teacher who cares or is good. Well, that's yeah. I mean,
my guy's like bipolar sometimes. It's just
those are always the toughest teachers. See, ironically, the teachers I had like that were English teachers, and I wound up being a writer. So go fig.
You want to? You definitely want to follow NASA Blueberry. That is Alyssa Carson. She's 19 and has already been to all of the space camps on, I think, every continent. And it's like that's her call sign's Blueberry, but that's her. She's an aspiring astronaut, but like if you listen to everything that she's done, you will immediately go, I've done nothing with my life. Awesome.
All right, I'm going to go on ahead and I'll go on ahead and put a timer on this latter half, just so we can keep a track on the second half of the show. Let's see. We'll do. All right. So here we go.
My wholehearted opinion on virtual learning. It's rough, but it cannot stop yet because no one is being smart about this.
Fair enough.
They're trying to get us to go back by the end of the month, and I hate that idea.
Well, yeah, I think I don't think it's. You guys have made it this far. In my opinion, just wait and then have a proper senior year. That's
the fact that they've at least gotten smart enough that they're not doing Mardi Gras because. You want a super spreader event? Bunch of drunk people on top of each other for 2 weeks. See how that goes.
Yep. Okay, we're going to do the second half of episode 70 of Happy Hour from the Tower. Wait for Emma to take a breath. Good on. Oh, damn it.
I think that would be the neighbors getting a pizza or something.
Probably. All right, here we go. In 3, 2. And we are back with the second half of Happy Hour from the Tower. I'm T.
I'm Nick.
I'm Brandon.
And we're talking about Season of the Chosen, the brand new season dropping cabal's deep, and we're in it absolutely. We're in it to win it. It's been a lot of fun so far. Been really enjoying the new weapons. Been really enjoying the Battlegrounds experience, and as far as finding any, and they've also brought in a few classic. They brought in a few new classic weapons from the past, but they've also dropped the Gambit hand cannon. And I know Brandon, you've got it. What's the new hand cannon again?
It's called Bottom Dollar, and it is so fun.
So what can you tell us about it? What was the roll you got on it?
It's an aggressive frame. I don't remember the roll specifically. It might have had Rampage on it, but it's a heavy hitter for sure.
Okay. Is it now?
You're gonna want to have a hand cannon loader mod on because it's one of the slow reloads. But if you're a hand cannon fan, it's a must.
Is it closer to a 110 or a 180? Where does it fall?
I think it's 110 for sure. It's low. It's either 110, 120.
So it's low.
Down to.
It's low, but it's like a sledgehammer. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Marv can 100% correct me on the specifics.
And he might. He just might. Okay. He just might. Hey, Nick. What else? Now, Nick, as you all know, he is our resident lore master, Baby Bife, as I like to call him. And Nick, you've got some more copious notes on the season of The Chosen. Take us in.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about?
Let me cross off Bottom Dollar off my list.
We'll get it. I need to do the thing with the titles that you definitely have on your notes somewhere.
Which thing with which titles?
Guild, is it guilding titles? The four match-made. Or... No. The 4 match-made titles have like remaster versions, where if you've already picked them up, then you can do a different set of objectives and make them have a little extra icon by their thing.
Let's go to that then.
Well, before we do, this is a great question just brought up by Sophie in chat. What's our favorite weapon to use, or favorite, maybe if not favorite weapon, favorite loadout, favorite weapon or favorite loadout? What if you've got a go-to gun? What is it? Let's start with well, I know Nick's go-to armor, because as he likes to say, you don't have to reload a fist. And but if you don't have your AO feedback fence for some ungodly reason, what's the weapon that you go to?
I'm lazy. But I don't deviate much from the norm. There are certain weapons that, like linear fusion. No, thank you. I'm good. Typically it's going to be hand cannon in the primary slot. And then probably a bow and a sword or rocket launcher, depending on what the
not shotgun
the objective is, or if I switch to shotgun primary and then hand cannon secondary, because I'm always the guy right in the middle of everybody, because that's how I roll.
Right.
So
right.
And I will say bow without naming the new bow, because then I have to write it off my notes, because it's next thing I have my notes to talk about, which is amazing. But yeah. Typically that's that. Marv, shut up. When you're in the middle of a bunch of thrall, you want your charges to go off and you want to kill a bunch of thrall. Talk to me about what's better than a feedback fence. Nothing's
Dune marches are good, but there's no...
It's a gameplay perspective. If you're the guy in the middle of everything, always in the kill box, because that seems to be where I live.
I'm telling you, it
helps.
My couch and my love seat into the kill box.
Marv, if it helps, Dune marchers are my go-to.
There you go.
All right.
So that's mine. Next, who's next?
How about you, Brandon?
It's almost always hand cannon in the primary. Mm-hmm. If I need to do something else, this season it's been the new bow, unnamed, redacted. It's had the new SMG in my primary, just because it's been really fun.
Man, the I thought I had it. The extraordinary rendition.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a nice unexpected bonus in the primary slot.
Yeah, for sure. And then usually falling guillotine in my powers, or if I'm not using an exotic, then probably Eyes of Tomorrow, just because it's chaos.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
My go-to, I have the if I'm going for double hand cannons, then it's going to be Seventh Seraph Officer Revolver and Posterity.
There we go.
The two, because God, they're so much fun.
Man, the Posterity. Okay. So in my energy slot, I will probably go with Posterity. That's the raid hand cannon, and man, I fell in love with it the moment I opened it up.
That's one thing I saw Tassie bring up on Twitter, was like, there have been some good raid weapons, but none of them have fit the aesthetic of the raid as much as the DSC.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. Everything about DSC. I
know, good.
I feel like a screaming fanboy, but it was like when I got the full Warlock set from the I'm like I want to have a character sketch of this. I want to have that framed and on my wall. I mean, it's just such a good.
It's gorgeous, just
gorgeous.
Yeah.
So anyway, now I'm sorry, Brandon. Were you done? Were you done with your loadouts?
I don't know. I'm usually on a stasis subclass for Revenant, just because I think it's really fun and really stupid.
Right.
Then I have that Mask of Bacchus, just because it's part of my instinct now.
So for myself, when it comes to my primary slot, and it has kind of become my Warlock's security blanket, but I'm always going to be using my Outbreak Perfected. I love that pulse rifle so much. If I'm not
really satisfying,
it's very satisfying and it's very steady. Right behind that though is the Monte Carlo. When the Monte Carlo first dropped, I did not appreciate it, and then I started doing. It was actually, I think it was one of the last things I did with ZG Photo. he took me into the Pit of Heresy, and he said, "Do you have Monte Carlo?" I said, "Yeah," and he said, "Use it, because you're gonna be needing your grenades, you're gonna be needing your abilities," and I started using it. I'm like, what have I been doing? What have I been doing with my life? And so yeah, so those are my two go-tos. And then of course, from this season, the extraordinary rendition. I've got three favorite go-tos for when it comes to energy weapons. You've got again the posterity, because it's so damn smooth. There's the gnawing hunger, which with the current drop that I have on it, it's just a
you and everyone else that played Season
I know. And then there's another favorite raid weapon, the Trustee. Trustee's a solid weapon to go with.
That is so good.
Now for fun, in the energy slot, I have two. I had one exotic bow, the Trinity Ghoul, but now it's the Trinity Ghoul and Redacted, which we'll be talking about a little later. And not just for me, the Solar Trinity Ghoul, which could possibly actually be the next bow that Steve Saylor takes to bed with him, because
he needs the catalyst, man. He needs the catalyst.
I'm sure he's working on it. And if he hasn't got it yet, then we're going to get it. And it
should stick around the quest.
Speaking of Steve, the Blind Gamer Sailor, that's going to be the Fire Team's goal for this season. Steve said he really wants to get his first title. He wants to get his first title in Seal. So we have made it our priority that we are going to help him get the Chosen title. Because if anybody should be rocking a title that says Chosen, it should be Steve, the effing Blind Gamer Sailor. Yeah. And then finally,
I feel bad trying to putting him down for not for him to not go for Unbroken, but it's such a long-term investment.
Yeah, and I think as much as Steve likes PvP, he does enjoy PvP. I think he would get too frustrated.
Yeah. No, I can't deal with the Unbroken requirements.
Exactly. Then finally, I would say for my power weapon, I got a really good roll on the Commemoration on my first drop, my first run. So I the go-to is my Commemoration, and Anarchy is just so much freaking fun to use in these bigger events. But I want to give a definite honorable mention to the new Code Duello. I took that for a test spin, and the roll I got on it was volatile launch, black powder, impulse amplifier, and chain reaction. And that's
I haven't heard impulse amplifier.
Massively increases projectile velocity, increases reload speed.
Huh.
And
that's pretty good.
It's working nice. It's working very nice. It's working very, very nice for me.
Did they actually give any rocket launchers 2 shots in a clip, or?
Well, I mean, it's no Eyes of Tomorrow, if that's what you're wondering. But I mean, but
no, there's nothing that compares to the Eyes of Tomorrow. I'm sorry.
God, I hate you, Brandon. Okay, Nick, going back to your copious notes, what?
Let me. I want to throw something back to the first half of the show, which is we compared Wrathborn hunts to Battlegrounds, and I think we did so from the perspective of all things in the back end being equal, and I think that's a bad assumption for us to make, because when the last season was being developed was when a lot of the changes to the work from home situation happened. Yeah. And so there's a good chance that the Wrathborn hunts should have been something different than what the end result was, because you're transitioning your devs to here's your laptop instead of here's your screaming tower that keeps the office 412 degrees. So I think that we can't make any assumptions in terms of what the resources were that are available. So that was just one thing I just wanted to mention. But on a different note, let's talk about Tiku's Divination.
Let's talk about that.
Inferno Whip.
Inferno Whip. 3 Inferno Whips.
Starting with you and Steve, I guess it was last Tuesday.
Yeah.
And him realizing, number one, that he didn't have the season pass, but the fact that once he got that bow, and
his realization.
Yeah, talked about that. Shoot it without the scope and then shoot it through the scope. And
it's a
and
two-step process. It's like stasis.
And oh boy, did he have just a moment.
A giggle fit.
It was the same reaction that he had when he first got the lightning rod aspect of Trinity Ghoul. Yeah. He was like, oh my! I remember when he first did it, he was like, oh my god! I'm like, welcome, that is your Trinity Ghoul. Enjoy. And
the lore.
And the lore.
The lore tab for the new one is so funny.
I mean, it's great.
Where it pulls it from Out of Time, and then it's a good read.
It's a terrific bow. Once you get now, granted, it took me a while. I could hear myself on stream going, okay, hip fire, sight fire, hip fire, sight fire. Yep. I mean, I had to keep and I can always tell when I'm getting tired because then I'm just aiming down sights automatically, and it's like no. I've got the.
It still works. It's definitely not a DPS bow. It's definitely an ad clear bow.
Yeah.
But it's really stupid fun to use against Overload champions.
Oh, it's so much fun to use against Overload champions. So much freaking fun. And yeah, I mean, I'm having a great time with it. But I did ask Steve. I said, so if you had to make a choice, and he said, don't have me make that choice. Yeah, it's like choosing my favorite child. You can't ask me to do that. But he's been enjoying the ride with it as well. Yeah, I love the design of it. I love the use of it. So yeah, I think it was a very nice. When I saw it in the trailer, I said, whatever it is, I want it because it was a bow. And I, personally, I didn't think Biting Winds has been getting enough attention that it deserves because that's a solid legendary bow. It's like the
sympathetic arsenal
every time.
But no, I do love the new exotic bow. It's really nice.
It's really fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay in Crucible just because of how all the time to kills are, and how long it takes to draw back a bow. But if you have bow dexterity, it's probably better. But
that's the next.
It's all right.
Yeah, that's the next step for me. I've got to kill 50 Guardians with it now. So it's like, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you in the first step of the quest or the second step?
I think I'm still on the first step.
Then that's with the bow. It's just the first one is just kill 50 Guardians, and then the second one is kill 50 Guardians with the bow.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
interesting, but it's still like the same gatekeeping thing.
Yeah.
So let's go to Brandon as our resident history buff. You're going to have to chime in here.
I think I know where he's going with this.
Yeah.
The Prefectus armor set and the Trials armor set for this season. Yeah. I think they're disgusting, but you actually have the say in how they're designed the way that they're designed.
I'm never going to use them, but the design of the new seasonal armor set is based on ancient Persian armor, and I love that because it fits so well with the Cabal being warmongers.
And when you look at it from that perspective, I would say, okay, now I can sort of get behind it. But I've never really liked the look of Persian armor.
No, I haven't either, but it's just because it's pulled from history,
right?
That it's really neat to me. And I think that they should probably... I think they should do 2 different sets each season, not counting the Eververse one, that are like one that's based on the season that they're doing, and then one that's based on some sort of ancient armor. Because I think that'd be a super neat dynamic, but that's also me just trying to be, geeking out about history stuff.
I totally... Hey, look, if the Iron Banner is going to lean in heavily to the samurai look, which they have done, but I feel like they've been doing it again and again and again and again, and I'm like, okay, guys, change it up. So I may not care for the Persian look of that particular for the particular seasonal armor, but I do like the fact that we are seeing something different. And I do like that idea. I mean, why not?
This is the first Hunter cloak that is just a helmet.
Yeah.
There's no actual cloak. It's disgusting, but it's a really cool concept.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. Like, it doesn't have to look good. It's taking a step forward into being a new thing.
Right.
And that's what I really like about it.
But I do like the thought. I do like the thought of them pulling from different, because why not? I mean, if you're going to lean into it with an aesthetic, the samurai look isn't the only aesthetic. You know, there's so many different things we can do.
Well, the new Trials stuff is disgustingly gorgeous.
Well, you know, considering what you have to do, what you have to go through to go get it, I think,
like I'm glad they brought it back, like the old armor.
Yeah.
But like I never did Trials in D1, so it doesn't matter to me. But
Right.
I think that it meant a lot to those who did. But now that they're bringing in new rewards and new gear, like adept weapons, to Trials, I think it's another step forward for the reward pools.
I will say I'm envious of those who run Trials, and can find people that run Trials with, because
I'm envious of those who can get through without facing hacker
and that
enemies,
too. But I mean, like, I believe it was Cosmo. I believe he posted today. I think he got himself the pulse rifle, and it looks gorgeous. It looks beautiful. And I remember Marv. Trials was rough. Got 5 wins, loads of wall hacks and stuff. But I also remember Marv did what he called the Iron Man look. He was running, I believe, a Titan, and he got all of the armor from it, and then he made it candy apple red. And when he went through everything, he had the right kind of shader that could make his trial symbol glow yellow. And I'm like,
oh no, that's when I think if you get to the lighthouse.
Yeah, if you get to the lighthouse. Yeah. And he did. He looked like freaking Tony Stark. I mean, it was the coolest thing ever.
That's amazing.
It was great.
That's the move, Marv. That was the thing. Just jump off the map, and to get to the bounty. I was reading that same thing earlier today.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, there you have it. To lose 10 you had to lose 10 people. Okay, that's all right. Hey, strat's a strat. If it works for you, God love you.
That's because the bounty needs completions.
Yeah,
so you can just completely cheese it
and boom it. There you go.
Yeah. Because Bungie players will do everything they can to not play the game.
Right. And then complain that the game's broken.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have new stasis aspects, right, Brendan?
Yes. You just want me to...
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No, it wasn't a true-false question.
So there's new aspects and fragments. A lot of the fragments are grenade-based, from what I've seen.
Interesting.
I picked up 2 so far, and they're really helping my loadout. I only know the Hunter and Warlock ones, because I have yet to do the Titan or see the Titan one. But the Hunter one basically does what the last Titan one did, just for Hunters. It's when you kill enemies with stasis, they drop little shards that you can pick up, and it gives you melee energy, which is really helpful.
I bet.
And then the Warlock one, which I've really liked, but apparently Marv said was complete crap, is you can charge your grenade and then throw it down, and it makes a very small stasis turret that shoots around and freezes enemies around you for you, which is so much fun.
I gave that a test spin, and I'm like, why was Marv dogging on this? It's kind of it is kind of fun. It's kind of cool.
It's like it's your arc buddy.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's the way I regarded it. It was my stasis arc buddy. But you know, I mean, I still have a few more things that I need to do. In stasis, going after those things. My dance card is full once again. Because I know that I've planned out what I would like to accomplish this particular season. I discovered that I have 2 out of 4 of the triumphs done for Grandmaster, and I'm like, okay, then I have to start getting to a hardcore grind, because I know it's going to hurt when I do my first ever Grandmaster, but at least I got to try. And that's something I've never done. I mean, I did a master level Nightfall, and I loved it.
You're ahead of me on that.
It was really a lot of fun. But I remember watching Lulu do a Grandmaster Nightfall, and I'm like,
those are hard.
Dear heaven. But I mean, it was funny because, and this is something I want to throw out. I don't have to ask Nick this question, because I know I know Nick's answer. But if Nick wants to comment on it, please feel free. But when I posed this idea, I was running with Marv and I Am Poop, which don't buy into the name. He's actually quite good. But I was talking about the wanting to maybe try a Grandmaster Nightfall, do it, and Poop and Marv were both being very diplomatic with me, going, this is a commitment, T. And that's pretty much what they were saying. I was like, this is a commitment. And you're right. No, right now, no, I'm not near doing it. Absolutely, Marv. I don't think I'm anywhere near doing it right now. But then I remember Poop asked me a very good question, which was, where do you see yourself concentrating your gameplay on? And I took him, was it, do you want to concentrate on PvE or PvP? And I thought about it, and I said, honestly, when I look at the stuff that I like to do, that I really enjoy doing, I should really start looking at focusing on PvE. Because at least from not just from my style of play, I look at what do I enjoy doing. What do I enjoy doing? I love doing raids. I love going on Nightfalls. I love going on strikes. I will do Crucible if I have to. And Gambit I really enjoy, and I love the hybrid aspect of PvE and PvP. I totally love that hybrid aspect. But when you look at Gambit is more PvE than PvP, I think.
Yeah.
So I said,
it's competitive PvE.
Yes, that's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to throw that out to you guys. Where do you see your interests and your game style? Where do you see it? Do you see it as more PvE or more PvP?
You want to go first?
Yeah.
No, it'll take 2 seconds. Yeah.
Right.
I don't enjoy PvP. Moving on.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm a PvE flex, is what I would say. Is that like the most stuff I enjoy is PvE, and I feel like I get the most rewarding stuff out of PvE. But that weekly bounty or those weekly bounties for Crucible, or daily bounties for just the extra XP, it's
right.
Gonna be, I have to run in and go do that stuff.
Yeah, and I will, and I'm okay with that too. And now, if you wanted to get real granular and say, well, where do you enjoy PvP the most?
Mayhem.
Ironically, it's comp. I don't know. I think it's the adrenaline high I get off of comp. But man,
it's actually skill based. It's skill based matchmaking instead of connection, and I think connection was the worst mistake ever. Connection based matchmaking.
Fair enough.
I hate connection based.
But the weird thing is that when I pull off a win in Crucible, and like standard Crucible, whether it's Control or Mayhem or otherwise, I'm like, that was cool. But man, if I do it in comp, I'm all by myself, for the exception of chat. I'm all by myself. But man, if I do that, I lean back and I go, win. I'm fist pumping, baby, and it's just. But do I get the same joy out of running PvP as I do PvE? If someone were to say to me, "Hey T, I got a really good team here. They need a third. I think you can do it. Let's go do a weekend of trials." Versus, "Hey T, I got a fire team together. We need somebody. I want to do the Deepstone Crypt." I'm always going to go to the raid because I enjoy that experience more in my heart of hearts than I do. And that is nothing against anybody who groks on a PvP. If PvP is your jam, PvP is your jam. But I just don't think it's mine, which is why I would like to focus on seeing if I can even try. Well, but I got to get up to those power levels. If I could try a Grandmaster Nightfall, sure, why not? Because I won't know until I try, right?
Yeah, no, that's 1350.
I know. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
But then again, I just went through a nightmare in Ghost of Tsushima Legends, so so I know how things hurt. How things hurt. Go ahead, Nick. Take us back in. What else you got for us?
Have you guys taken a look at being able to see quest details?
I have. Yeah, it's such a good menu now.
So what is this? What am I missing?
Instead of just having just the quest step that you're on for whatever quest you're on, you can actually open up a details page and it'll give you a bunch of information about it, and basically like a journal entry about what step you're on.
Okay.
And it's a way better menu, but it's so hidden.
Okay, because I didn't know it was there. So where
exactly.
So where would our listeners and our viewers find that?
literally on any pursuit that has the option, if you go up to it in your quest menu and hit your details button, it should open up your new page. Like the introductory quest for the helm had it. I don't know what else has it, but because that's the only one I've seen. There's the dog again.
Hi, Emma.
Hi, Emma.
Yep.
Can I get some hi Emmas in chat?
Okay, so one of the other things that was announced is sort of a alteration of course, which was instead of expanding a bunch on the Cosmodrome, Bungie is going to focus efforts on development of new content instead. So the Cosmodrome's not going to be what it previously was. Do we have thoughts on that?
I think it's fine.
I'm always. I mean, there's a nostalgic part of me that would like to see more stuff to do in the Cosmodrome.
Yeah,
I would like to see more of the Cosmodrome. That's one thing I think.
If they gave us the entire, like anywhere that has ever been in the Cosmodrome, and they just opened that up for us, and then they give us the plague lands without the snow, I'd be satisfied. And then just leave the Cosmodrome as it is.
I'd be okay with the snow and the plague lands.
Yeah, but I mean, like, because then it wouldn't make sense if it was the bright springtime, summertime Cosmodrome, and then you walk through a door and then it's a bunch of snow.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. It has to be a still like an introduction area,
right?
So I think if they, as long like, even if they just give us the area where the Devil's Lair was, and then the Fallen Saber, and then the place where you do the climbing the antenna tower with Cade for Taken King.
Yep. That was a great one.
Amazing. I think that'd just be a really nice patrol thing.
I would love to go up to do that, to do quests like that again, where you're just getting higher and higher. Because when we took Sunny, when you and I took Sunny on that quest, she was losing her mind, and I'm like, oh yeah. I remember this. This was so much fun.
Well, because nowadays it feels like the Cosmodrome being compared to newer places is just weak, in my opinion.
But we haven't. I don't feel like we haven't been given as much to do in the Cosmodrome as we did in D1. So yeah, if they wanted to open up, as Brandon said, open it up to old quests, bring back the Plague Lands. I mean, I'd be okay with that as well.
We need a Siva season.
I would love a Siva season. I would love that. I know, Nick. I loved the Siva back in the day, and I'd love to see them come back. We just need
Siva themed weapons and armor, and we will all be satisfied.
Please. But as far as new content, I mean, I feel like I do feel like that the Cosmodrome would benefit from new content. I also feel that I'm burned out on Nessus. It feels like a lot of new content just constantly takes us back to Nessus. And I'm sitting there going, all right, you guys have been teasing the return of Vogue. Does that mean you're going to be opening up Venus? Because if you're not going to... there's a part of me that misses Venus. But I mean, I would rather see new content in the Cosmodrome. I'd like to see new content in... I still think there are parts of Europa that we haven't discovered yet. I wouldn't say no to more content on Europa. But as far as am I disappointed? I'm just happy that they've been able to continually produce in the current climate that we're in. So I'm willing to let them lead this dance. It's a bit like Marvel. It's a bit like Marvel and WandaVision. When the first episode dropped, people were like, "What the hell is this?" And I was like, "Trust in Marvel. Trust in Marvel. They'll get us there." And now and now episode 5 drops, and people are losing their minds. And I'm sitting there going, "What did I say? What did I say? Trust in Marvel." So that's the way I'm approaching it. Just put a little faith in Bungie. Put a little faith in Bungie.
Yeah. No, I think Bungie knows what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
In terms of their storytelling,
I feel like it's strong. I feel like it's been really strong of late.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd much rather have somewhere we've never been before than something new on the Cosmodrome, or something new in the EDZ,
or even if it's someplace we've been to once, like if they give us Phobos.
Sure.
Actually,
the one Taken King mission.
Actually, the thing that made me made my breath catch in my throat was there was one of the apart from Crow whistling Savathûn song.
That's not a good sign.
That's not a good sign, but I caught it. But the but there was something where he was muttering about something. I don't know if he was talking to somebody or if he was muttering or if he was answering a comm somewhere, but he mentioned about a signal from Neptune. And I went, oh, hell, if we go to Neptune, let's go, baby. Let's get to those outer planets. I'd be more than happy to do that.
I would love to go to a gas giant.
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, but if they're talking about bringing back, and I remember hearing, I think it was Dan Finity was talking about this, if they brought back remastered old content, he said I wouldn't mind remastered Cosmodrome and remastered Dreadnought.
Yeah, and I think the Dreadnought's probably the biggest thing that they could do, other than, of course, Plague Lands.
But but that's what I'm saying. Is I would like to see some of that. But again, I'm gonna at the way it has been in the past few seasons, and especially with this content, with this DLC, I'm more than willing to put my trust in Bungie and just let them do the driving. They haven't let us down yet, and like I said, every time I run DSC, it just gets more and more fun. And I'm like, that's the thing that I have been feeling. I know I've seen some people on Twitter mention that they're not as motivated to get back into Destiny, but I'm not one of those people. I'm chomping at the bit now to get back into Destiny. And I think Steve is I mentioned Steve because of Blind Leads the Blind on Thursday nights. And Steve has even mentioned that he's getting fired up about playing Destiny again. And I'm like, that's a good thing. It's a good thing.
I think this is one of the stronger seasons to follow an expansion.
So, Nick, can you wrap us up with any of the details before we start wrapping up this episode?
Yeah, so we've got a couple other... I was going to talk about some of the other weapons, but I think we're good. There's an exotic quest coming that we don't have very many details on, but it's
a Tex Mechanica weapon.
It's a Tex Mechanica. Yes, it is. Proving Grounds gets added in March 23rd, and it becomes the Nightfall the week after. We do get another round of Guardian games.
Yeah.
And I want to
I'm hoping for SRL in the Guardian games.
So
okay,
I wanted to call what.
That would be cool. I gotta admit, if they brought back SRL for the Guardian games, okay. I would appreciate that.
Okay, and then so I wanted to touch on something that was in the last This Week at Bungie, which is the fact that they are heavily promoting the Black at Bungie portion of their employee base, and they have given the proceeds of the Be Heard pin to the Equal Justice Initiative. And if you don't know what they do, that is Brian Stevenson's organization. He's the author of a book called Just Mercy, which was a movie, I think, a year ago at this point. And they, and I quote, provide legal representation to people who've been illegally convicted, unfairly sentenced, or abused in state jails and prisons. They challenge the death penalty and excessive punishment and provide re-entry assistance to formerly incarcerated people. And so far, proceeds from this pin have raised $425,000 for Equal Justice Initiative. It's a near and dear cause to me and my criminal justice background. So just something really, really cool that they're not just going to do Black History Month. They continue that effort throughout the year, and they're going to continue to do that. So if you don't have that pin, you're going to want to do that.
Pick it up. Go ahead and pick it up. And if you want to find out more about them, I am dropping the Equal Justice Initiative in chat. It is EJI for equaljusticeinitiative.org. Go ahead and check them out. Them out.
And so I will finish with this question, which is apparently, unless something changes, there is no dungeon or raid this season. Your thoughts?
That's fine. We have Prophecy, we have Pit, and we have Shattered Throne, and then we're getting raids yearly at this point. So
yeah. I'm still very, very happy with DSC. Brandon and I still have a few more things to crank out before we get the Descendant title. And as far as Prophecy and Heresy goes, I mean, hey, we've got that too.
I need to run another Pit.
I wouldn't say no to. Hey, look, anytime.
Night is young.
Yeah, not tonight. I think tonight's our movie night, and if it wasn't,
they said they were remastering some of the gear, but I don't remember if that was for this season or next season.
Well, I guess
from the Moon and Tangled Shore and Dreaming City because they're sunset now.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say no to that, but I wouldn't mind getting back into some dungeon runs. But I also kind of want to focus. I know I sound like a broken record, but I am so focused right now on getting that Descendant title. I've got my to-do list for the season, and I'm like, if I could have the Descendant title before the end of the season, I will be thrilled. And
I'm with you, man. But since no one else can get Reckoner, I'm holding on to it.
There you go. That's the way to do it. All right, everybody. So if you want to, yes.
Nothing to see here but us chroniclers.
There we go. But chat, we would like to hear about you and your thoughts about this particular season. And if you're curious about where you can chime in with the Happy Hour from the Tower Fire team, you can always drop us a voicemail on WhatsApp or through Google Voice at 703-791-1701. You can go on ahead and do that. You can also drop us an email at podcast@happyhourfromthetower.com, or you can come to this website, happyhourfromthetower.com, and drop a comment in the episode. Let us know what you think. We'd like to hear your thoughts. We'd love to hear your questions. And hey, if you got something for the next show, if you got ideas for the next show, if you want to make a suggestion, all three of those places, you can go ahead and drop your suggestions there. We'd love to hear from you. And we'd like to remind you that Happy Hour from the Tower is protected by a non-commercial, no derivative, share-alike United States 3.0 license. You can find out more about that license at creativecommons.org. On behalf of Brandon, on behalf of Nick, eyes up, Guardian, time to give up the ghost. The first round's on us. Reminder, bottom dollar is lit. And we're clear. You waited the entire time for that, didn't you? Hey. Thank you, chat. We appreciate each and every one of you coming in. Oh, it's good to have you all here tonight.
Those are some good questions. Oh, Panic, I'm sorry I missed it. We didn't talk about Lance Reddick reading Destiny memes, but it was really funny.
It was really funny.
I will be putting that in the show notes. I meant to say something about that to Panic as well.
He's so good.
He's
you
incredible.
need to put a thing right after that that says, if you thought that was funny, you need to watch Toys R Me.
Oh. The Toys R Me isn't the one where he's in the boardroom and he goes, "Look to your left, now look to your right. These people are seriously pissing me off." That's not Toys R Me, is it?
No, he's the Toys R Us manager.
Right.
It's all the new employees.
Of course. Okay. That's brilliant.
You better listen very motherfucking carefully to the next 162 words that are going to come out of my mouth.
I really do believe he missed his calling. He should have done more comedy back in the day. Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome. I love it. Real quick, chat. If you want to see some highlights from the Deepstone Crypt current meta run, take a look here. We had a really good time the other day. And Brandon and I managed to clear three triumphs towards the title and seal, and I was pretty pleased. And this video was you can laugh all you like, Marv. You can laugh all you like. We cleared 3 triumphs the other day. I am more than happy with my current meta clan. All right, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Wrap up stream. Thank you, everybody. Oh, by the way, real quick, just to let you all know, for those of you who are regulars on the stream, we will be this week doing Philippus Freaky Friday at 7:30. I just don't know what game. Pip is going to play, because right now it is either going to be Assassin's Creed Valhalla, or it might be Ghost of Tsushima Legends. It could be Control. It might be Control. She is starting to.
I grabbed it too. I need to find some time to game time.
If you're looking for a really fun game that is a cross between Inception, X-Files with just a touch of The Shining, there it is. That's Control, and Pip's having a good time with it. Pip's having a real good time with it.
Did you guys also grab a Concrete Genie? I saw that one was.
No, I haven't grabbed that one.
It was for the PS Plus.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay. Again, I'm trying to stay focused. If I'm not playing Ghost of Tsushima or Legends with Pip, I'm gonna be grinding at Destiny, because I agree with Marv. Right now, I am not ready for a Grandmaster Nightfall, but I would really love to be ready. I just have to start getting the grind on. But anyway, we're just gonna let AutoHost do its thing. Thank you everybody for being here tonight. Really do appreciate it, guys. Thank you for being here tonight as well. We're gonna sign off from here, and that's about it. Thanks for watching. This has been episode 70 of Happy Hour from the Tower. Take care, everybody. Good night.